as an artist, first of all, let me say I love being an artist. It's really, really fun to be able to sculpt things in clay and that. Thank you. And every once in a while, you do things just for fun. You know, as an artist, you want to express yourself and you want to have fun. This is one of the pieces I did. It's down here in your park. It's called the Puffed Up Prince. And that was just a piece for fun. There's another piece that's not too far from that. It's right on the corner where that roundabout is. And it's two children swinging two children, and their hands are connected. Have you noticed that piece down there? They're swinging each other around. And as I did that piece and a lot of other pieces, I thought about what is a message that with such a big statue, once again, this is going to be 300 feet tall, this thing when it's done. What's a message that I would want to get across to people of what's important and what is responsibility in that? So what I noticed was a lot of my work had these hands that were connected. I did another one that's called Circle of Peace, and it's children in a circle. They're life-size, but their hands are connected. Did another one of some Native Americans climbing up a cliff, and one reaching back, and they're helping each other. And so, to me, as an artist, this represents coming together, people helping each other out, being responsible, being aware that we have other people next to us, and that we can't just act alone, we can't just do our own thing. I mean, we can for a little bit, and once in a while we need to. A lot of times the time I spend in my studio is just alone. But to get these ideas and stuff, it's when I come out and associate with people and get with others and do projects, do things that help others in that. So that's where the statue is coming from. And let me just mention, years ago when they were creating the Statue of Liberty, that was a gift from France, and it came to America, and it actually sat in the boat harbor for quite a while in these great big crates. And it was because they didn't have a pedestal to put it on. And so the way that they made that happen was one of the newspaper publishers back there, Pulitzer, he said, now we need to get this pedestal built so we can get the Statue of Liberty out. And so what he did, he published every one of the kids' names in the newspaper, gave them a little bit of recognition in that they helped create this project. And they raised, I can't remember exactly what it was, but they raised enough money to get this thing up. And now it has become an icon for freedom, and everybody recognizes the real title of it is Liberty Enlightening the World. So it's not just America's sculpture, it's a world sculpture. And that's what I hope this will be. Won't just be a West Coast America thing, it'll be a worldwide thing. And we'll have smaller versions of this in different areas in the entire world. It's about helping the whole planet. And so, just wonderful to be an artist, to be a part of this project, to be with you in your school today. And I hope that we can raise awareness and get more and more people on board and create this thing. This is something that we don't just want 5 or 6 great big monster companies to create. We want everybody in America to be aware, because the message of responsibility is powerful. We need to do that more and more in this country. So thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Jerry. At this time, I'm going to introduce Lisa Clark Price, Jerry's wife, and she's going to tell us a little bit about how we can get involved.
You can do better than that. Come on. Okay, now show me responsibility by being really quiet. Are you excited to have the sculptor of the Statue of Responsibility in your school? Raise your hand if you've been to the Statue of Liberty. Some of you have. Do you realize in your lifetime the Statue of Responsibility will be built and you will get to go there? Would it be so cool if your name was there? How many would like that? Would you like to have a picture of your school there and your school's name at the statue? So when you go, you can see it, but even more important, when your kids and your grandkids go, they'll be able to see your names there. Here's what that looks like. Your school will be responsible to raise the equivalent of a 300-foot tower of pennies. That's about $720. And you can raise more than that if you want to, but that's what your responsibility is. And your responsibility individually is to raise $1 of that. Raise your hand if you're committed to raising $1 of the Statue of Responsibility. And if you do that, your name will be at the Visitor Center. Now, put your hands down. I don't want you just to go home and ask your parents for $1. I don't want you to go dig $1 out of change or ask Grandma and Grandpa. You're going to make a commitment that you will earn the $1. Raise your hand if you know what work means. There's a couple of you that don't know what work means. If you're committed to working for that $1, let me hear it. Okay, now I want each of you to reach to the person sitting next to you, and I want you to grab their hand just like this. Reach and grab somebody's hand just like that. That's responsibility. Okay, now come back to me. Responsibility. Quiet. Good job. That's what I want you to do. The second part of what you need to do is your classroom is going to do an act of responsibility. That can be a report about how you earned your $1. It could be a classroom project, or it could be a school project. And your parents will help you with that, and your teachers will help you with that. Guided by your parent, who's your teacher, your parent helper?
Mrs. Laramie.
Mrs. Laramie, who we're really grateful for, because she's taken time out to help your school with this program, and that's really cool. So if you're excited about responsibility and you want to be involved, let me hear it one more time. Thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you, Lisa. Thank you, Jared. You know, one of the things that I'm very, very impressed with all of you is the fact that you are responsible. I'm amazed every day how much responsibility you show, not only working together in your classroom, cooperating with your teacher and your friends, but how committed you are to learning those things that you need to do to take your place in the world. And we're going to wind this up today by showing our guests the kind of responsible people we are by standing quietly and then very respectfully following your teacher's direction as we leave the auditorium today. Would you all please stand? 8th grade, would you go ahead and hit the doors, please? Let's everybody give yourself a big hand for doing a great job.